Alright, so it's snowing and nasty outside. So anyway, I wanted to um, test this antenna here. Just because I saw, I got an email from Radioddity. They're offering this type of antenna. MFJ's been selling this for a long, long time. And there's several variants of these type of antennas on eBay and Amazon. Some of them are different. Some of them have like another section that screws in on the bottom. There's tons of them. What I found is that they don't work very well. They'll work. The problem is they like load up all this coil here, and they don't really give you much of a radiator. And this one here, I've had it for quite a while. It was $79. I think the packaging is right over here. I just had it and I set it somewhere. So so it's the 10 band 80 through 2 meter. So you get it with a PL259 or a stud, a 3/8 24 stud, or sorry, SO239. And I would prefer the stud type mount because that fits everything else. So I've got it over here on this here, and I'm going to hook up my my Nano VNA and just kind of revisit this thing. When I had it before, I used this analyzer here to kind of scan it, which is kind of finicky. So I'm going to make some tests again and just see. But yeah, Radioddity is offering one, and what's cool about theirs though is it has a couple of different pieces here that you can swap out instead of having to like adjust this. So like literally for this antenna to work on multiple bands, you're going to have to adjust this piece. And then I found that this thing was too long, and I think this piece is actually from another antenna, because I had two of these, and one of them was what they called like an Outback 2000. It was a copy of an Outbacker, and or a Falcon 2000, and it looked exactly the same, but there was a different amount of coil. Like it was wound for the CW part of the band, and there was nothing that you could do about it. This one here is wound more in the middle. So the other one I had to like cut this piece, and then just like all of them, they use a non-standard thread here. I don't know what it is, but it looks like it's 3/8, but it's not. It's something else. So you can't put anything different on here. You have to deal with what they give you. And this little piece here is too small to radiate. I mean, that's why this is a crappy antenna, in my opinion. There's just not enough radiator here. You have all this loading coil, you know. So, but you can set it up and pick a band that you want, and you know, tune it up, and I think it'd probably be okay on mobile. But you know, it's a pretty compromised antenna. So we'll do some testing here. So I have no idea what the hell band I had it set for originally. I think we were trying to use it on 10 or 20 meters. The tap over here is going to the top here, and there's only like 3 more. The biggest thing with this antenna is nothing's marked, so you don't know what anything is. But with no tap at all, it should be 80 meters. So I'm looking on here, and I see that the SWR is low at 12.9. So we probably were trying to do 20 meters. But that might be a result of this dip over here. I don't think this is 20 meters. I think this is 17 or 10. So as it sits here, it's probably 12 meters. That it looks pretty good. If you could adjust it and get it to move. And then the next little dip is outside of the 10-meter band, and it's kind of high. So I'm not sure where this thing's really supposed to be tuned at right now. They don't have the greatest instructions online for this, and really the antenna's kind of goofy. I don't think MFJ actually makes it. I think somebody else makes it in China, and then they sell it. So with no tap on it, that's what it looks like. So you really can't test this antenna without a counterpoise. It's really kind of useless to do that. You know, even put it on a mag mount and put it on some piece of metal or something, you know. But I see that like it has certain dips and stuff, but it's really kind of a difficult antenna. I mean, like, I really found it to be a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. So it'd be interesting to see if the Raid Oddity ones are any better. So this is on the 40-meter tap, so we're above the 40-meter band, but the SWR actually looks okay. And so that's just this little tap here. And I think the next one after that is like 60 meters, but you know, you might be able to get this thing to tune in different spots, but like I was saying, you know, without the radials, you know, it's going to be kind of hard to do. Now, this is 60 meters, and it actually looks really good. So, yeah. But like I was saying, these other dips, you know, if you have a radio that has a tuner, you'd probably be able to get it to work in other places, you know. So that's kind of cool, I guess. So let's try the next tap. So we're up here. So I would guess that the next one should be 40. Or, excuse me, not 40. So if one of these is 80, then why does this 60 look better here than it did on the other? So, oh, I'm sorry. We're looking at the 30-meter band. Not, I screwed up. So, I don't think this covers 60 meters. I think it covers 30, which would rather have 60. But, what does it call itself? A 10 band? So you have to sit here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 taps. So it's actually 9, and then I guess I don't know where they figure the 10th band is going to be. But there's 1 tap there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when you have nothing on it, it's 80 meters. And then the bottom tap doesn't count because, you know, that's your 9th tap. You would just have nothing on it. And then you would go up to here, and it would be 40 or 60, I guess. You know, and then so forth. But that's looking pretty good for there. So these are the bands they intended to cover. 80, 75, 40, 30, 20, 17, 15, 12, 10, 6, and 2 meters. I don't know how they figure 2 meters. I'm not sure. So when I bought this, that's the price it was. And I think it's $89. So the Raid Oddity version appears to be $99. So yeah, if we're on 30, so then our next band should be 20. So yeah, there's a dip near 20. Without adjusting this or routing ground radios, it's hard to say if this is going to be very good or not. So even though I'm on 17 meters, we see there's a very sharp dip right here at this frequency. So these other dips and things like that could really trick you without some visual aid like this. And I don't know where the true like resonance point is. It's a very sharp dip right there, and it looks like it's actually lower than the intended frequency. So you can see right next to it where my 1 is, that's where I'm in the wrong spot. But right next to it, to the right, would be the 17. Unfortunately, it's like way past it, you know, so, I mean, yeah, it's not even close. And the dip is not happening anywhere near 15 meters either. It's past it as well. So either, you know, you can adjust the end of the thing, you know, and see if that'll help. But I'm just going to go through all the bands really quick, way it is. So 12-meter band's almost there, but not quite. Let me see. So that would be, actually, yeah, it would be. It'd be good for 12. It doesn't really step in between the frequencies enough to get to the actual small part of the 12-meter band, but yeah, that's pretty close for that. So and then there's the beginning of 10 meters with a nice dip. I think that they probably intend this to work 6 meters as a half wave on 10 or something like that, or you know, or 6 meters has its own tap, and 2 meters will be, you know, half wave, something like that. But let's find where the dip is here. So the lowest point here is right outside of the 10-meter band, which is fine. But if you might not be able to adjust this well enough, I don't know. So without a tuner, you might not be able to get this to go. So we got one more tap, which should be 6 meters and 2 meters. Which, interestingly enough, almost works for other stuff. Oh no, I thought that was 2804. I was like, oh, you could just move it there and get FT8. So I got to change my calibration and everything. Doesn't really look all that great for 6 meters either. That's 50.880, so that's, you know, near the bottom. Uh-oh, what the hell did we just do? I accidentally adjusted the brightness. So we're not really in a good spot for 6 meters, but like I said, you probably have to adjust it. You probably have to add radials and things like that, and it's going to behave differently on top of a vehicle with a mag mount. So, but I've never sweeped this antenna with this before. And also, if you want to get more accurate reading with the Nano VNA, you pick your specific frequency span instead of looking at like 3 megahertz to 60. You know, the more that you look at, the less accurate these things are. So, I guess now we could see if that tap has any kind of resonance on 2 meters. It doesn't look real great for 2 meters either. I mean, there's a dip, but we know it's not going to be a good SWR. You see very easily. This camera is really giving me grief. So, again, I don't know, maybe adjusting it would make a difference. So, that's the MFJ. Maybe you guys should check out the Ray Doddity one and see. I don't know that these are really a good choice for antennas, but, I mean, they're out there. So anyway, thanks for watching.